Welcome back, the Pop 'em Don't Watch 'em Whiskey YouTube review show. Troy back with another review. So I don't want to say this is a repeat. It's not a repeat. I just think I didn't give enough energy and love into this bourbon. After I revisited it and did it on its own, as you can see, the bottle's starting to get a little low. The Old Carter Batch 10 Bourbon. I don't know if I had allergies that week when I filmed the original video. If you want to go check that out, please go check it out. I reviewed Bourbon Batch. It was 8, 9, and 10. 7 is the one I did not get. I don't know if I loved 8, 9 so much that 10 was the last one. I tried, it just didn't get the notes out of it. If the allergies, I don't know what happened. But when I went back to this one on its own, absolutely blew me away. Batch 10 needed its own review, its own video. We're gonna give it to you today. Guys, please, right now, hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube video, the background, the algorithm, whatever you wanna call it. Like the video, subscribe, catch me on Instagram, pop'em_don't_watch 'em. Always doing stuff on Instagram, on day-to-day things I like to do. But today, Batch 10 Old Carter Bourbon by itself, gonna get its own review here today. Now, if you remember last week, we started something new. I started something new for the channel. Each video, we're gonna do a shout out, a channel shout out to maybe a newer channel, a channel that's growing. Last week we did the Black Bourbon family. This week it's to my buddy at Big League Bourbon. Guys, go check him out. He's a former Major League Baseball player. He's doing videos and interviews in bourbon with current and former MLB players. If you love sports, you love baseball, great channel. Go check him out on Instagram and YouTube, Big League Bourbon. If you love baseball, I mean, look, I'm a big baseball fan. Y'all see it, I'm a Yankees fan. It's a great channel. Go check it out. That's this week's video shout out. But time to get into it. Batch 10. So the differences I was getting, and I went and reviewed my notes, and man, it's so right off the back on the nose. I mean, it's bursting. Chocolate. I get heavy chocolate. I get caramel, but I get like a cooked caramel. I don't know if you're cooking caramel and you put the square caramel candies and you put them in a pot and you cook it and you get it to a boiling level. That's what it smells like a boiling caramel. I get a little small hint of licorice. I get some banana. You get some cinnamon and black peppers. I mean, just so much going on. This is a high corn recipe, but man, have this much spice and all the different things going on. That chocolate just, I mean, sometimes when you get into the nose, you'll get this chocolate covered banana note. It comes really quick and goes, but man, when you do get it, it's really nice. And then you get a spicy tobacco, like a pipe tobacco, a really spicy tobacco note. You also get a leather note, but it's a very distinct leather note. It's when we used to play Little League baseball and high school baseball, would get a new glove. And my dad, he'd put oil in it. He had the special oil. He'd oil it down, you wrap it up with a baseball, and he'd put it in the oven. And when it would come out, it would smell. And this is gonna sound weird, but when that fresh glove, you'd be out in the outfield, you'd be in the infield, you chew on the strings because it had like this leather, this burnt, cooked leather taste to it. And that's literally, I'm getting that smell in the nose. Man, to my buddy at Big League Bourbon, go subscribe to the channel. And as always, Mr. Mark and Miss Sherry Carter, great people, great bourbon. Cheers. This is why I had to come back and do this review on Batch 10 by itself. the complexity and the way it changes as it hits different parts of the palate, it's special. Batch 9 is still, that batch 9 was damn good. But I'm gonna tell you what, this has climbed. That chocolate is so rich on the front end, but then that burnt caramel and that tobacco, that spice, it's a spicy tobacco, like with pepper and cinnamon and tobacco. And then you get that leather note. It's almost like it was double oaked. That's almost what it has, that it has a toasted barrel influence to it. Now I know it wasn't, but man, it just has this toasted barrel influence on it. A little bit of that licorice does hit. Now, I do not get that banana note on the palate like I do on the nose. But the chocolate, my God. The chocolate even overtakes the caramel. You still get a little bit of that burnt caramel, but the leather, the tobacco spice, a little bit of fruit. I still cannot, I've tried, I cannot pinpoint what that fruit is because it's so quick and it changes so fast. And when the spices hit, it takes over the fruit. And that licorice kind of takes over the fruit. I guess it's almost towards figs because of that licorice note. Almost wants me to say figs, but it's a very quick fruit note. But man, the finish is not long. It does not linger. The finish is it's very, I want to say it's short, but it doesn't cling a lot. This one's it's a little lighter. The legs aren't there. It's a little thinner, but man, the flavors on batch 10. Yeah, I mean okay, so you see now it's a third sip. Still get the chocolate, but now that caramel, that cooked caramel with that, it's like you took cinnamon and pepper, put it on the caramel when it's bubbling. It's getting really sweet, much more sweeter as you sip it, as it opens up. And that's what I think happened. I think once I got past that shoulder, I'm trying to save this bottle. I got to have some for the 2021 blind bracket challenge. But man, this batch 10, this has been the one I've been going back to. And like I said, that's why we had to come back and do its own review. Guys, another thing, we're going to add to the channel. Maybe not every video, but if I, get into a cigar that I really like and I think will pair well with the bourbon that I'm reviewing for that video. And that's what happened this week. The Diesel Whiskey Row. Guys, this tobacco was aged in, it's a collaboration with Rabbit Hole Bourbon. It was aged in Rabbit Hole Bourbon barrels. And the influence is incredible. I mean, I'd say medium, almost full, medium body, but the flavors, I mean, that spice hits all the way through. Long, tight ash, burned great all the way through. The cigar did not go out on me one time. We're here in New Orleans, outside New Orleans, Louisiana, we have high humidity already. So our cigars, when you're smoking outside, when the humidity gets high here, they get a little, they soak that humidity in, get a little wet. They go out maybe 2-3 times while you're smoking. This thing stuck all the way through, one light. The Diesel Whiskey Row. There's a sherry cask finish and the whiskey finish, the Rabbit Hole Bourbon Barrel, the Asian tobaccos. You get that spice, but man, you really get that caramel and that vanilla influence on it. Great cigar, especially to go with this Old Carter Batch 10 with all the flavors and the chocolates going on in this. So it has so much chocolate, I wouldn't go with a Maduro because you're already going to get enough coffee and chocolate in that one. I'd go with a little lighter one, and this one, perfect pairing, the Diesel Whiskey Row. Guys, that's it. Short and sweet tonight. Go subscribe to the channel, and once again, like I said, like the video. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Old Carter Bourbon Batch 10. This might be the new favorite of the year. Be on the lookout. Ryes are coming. It's either 2 or 3 batches. The ryes are coming. Cannot wait to get into the ryes. Old Carter ryes. Guys, plain and simple. If it's an Old Carter product, pop it. Don't watch